All right, guys. So apparently Amber Rose has had enough. Are we surprised? On Sophia Franklin's Sophia with the F podcast, Amber Rose was on the show and she said she wants to be single forever. So after multiple high-profile relationships, Kanye West, Wiz Khalifa, 21 Savage, and her most recent with Anthony A.E. Edwards, who is now dating Cher, a 76-year-old. Yeah, it's got to kind of sting a little bit to lose your man. And the next woman he runs to is 76 years old. A legend though she is, wealthy though she is, he'd rather be with a 76-year-old, it seems. He seems to be much happier in the situation with the 76-year-old than he was with Amber. So Amber Rose, let us not forget, founder of the Slut Walk, is in a precarious position right now. She's realizing that perhaps her actions, maybe some of her politics, haven't given her enough covering to have a successful relationship with a man that she desires. You know, I could tell her first problem. You know, you keep dating celebrities. AE still, though he wasn't a big rapper, he was at least in the limelight a little bit. She's jumping steps here, right? So basically, after dating all these celebrities, now all of a sudden Amber Rose decides that she's done dating men, at least. Let's just say that. Because she's still open to dating women, which is strange because, you know, those relationships can be tumultuous, as we know. She said she spent 3 years crying daily over her divorce from Wiz Khalifa, with whom she shares a 9-year-old. She said, I couldn't process that. I felt betrayed. And I also didn't know how to sit down and communicate, Rose said. We're much better as co-parents and friends. She says she's allegedly had infidelity in pretty much all of her relationships, including the one with 21 Savage, where it was alleged that she was the one that was actually unfaithful. That's how that ended. And I think that probably was her most successful relationship to date. You know, because 21 gave her the status that she wanted, because obviously, you know, she had a thing for rappers. He was willing to go march with her at the Slut Walk. He was a willing participant, and he seemed like he was really into her. But that was all dashed in a second because one of his homeboys allegedly haven't got with her. So she said, they're pretty disgusting out here. They're effing gross. Like, I want to be single for the rest of my life. I don't want pee. I don't want to share my house or my life with anyone. I don't want anyone around my kids. I don't want to have sex. I don't want it. That's a quote. So we find ourselves in an interesting position with Amber Rose. Like, Amber Rose, being who she is, it's starting, the chickens are coming home to roost. The chickens are coming home to roost for a lot of these ladies who were video vixens or, you know, celebrity girlfriends who kind of made a career out of being a celebrity girlfriend. As they grow older, and we've been saying this for years, right? You can't go through that phase in your older years. It's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? We've said this numerous times that although it may seem glamorous, although it may seem fun, it might seem exciting, at some point, you're going to want to settle down. You're going to want to slow down. You're going to want one man who's interested in you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for her to say she's not dating anymore and she's pretty much only dated celebrity men, rappers, you know what I mean, from America, like, it's a slap in the face to the average guy who, you know, they have no chance in her book that it's going to be a worse situation with them. Not that I would put that on them because, you know, it seems like there's potentially some therapy needed, and it seems like it's being avoided. It's being avoided in place of the slut walk. It's being avoided in the place of her threatening to write a book exposing her exes. You know what I mean? Like, she says she wants to write a book telling all her exploits. Sure, that will make her some money, but is that really going to get to the core of the problem here? Is that really going to get to why Amber isn't happy? You know, and that's the thing. I think Amber would probably be happy with a regular guy. But she's made some choices in her life. She got a tattoo plastered across her forehead. You know, she wears bald head all the time. It's almost like being a circus performer. Knowing that you have to be on the road to make money. You have to travel with the circus. And if you stop, the money stops. So it's like she's kind of up against it. And what happens to an old circus performer? I could imagine an old circus performer who can't travel with the circus anymore has to go home, either find some other way to make an income, but you can't have that life anymore. You can't continue to be who you once were when you were a fire thrower or when you were walking the tightrope, as it were. That's very apropos comparison, walking the tightrope. But she definitely was walking the tightrope at times in her career. But, you know, I've talked about Amber Rose on this channel before. And I think what is really concerning about how she operates in these moments is a lot of times she's defensive and combative with it. Whereas, like, you think that's bringing people into you. Like, do you think that's bringing people into you? Or do you think that's making people be less understanding of your plight? Do you think that by lashing out in ways in interviews all over the place, do you think that helps your case for why you should have what you desire? Which, if I'm honest, she's a serial monogamist in some ways. So she's had multiple tries at this. And this is what they talk about when they say the wall is approaching. Will Amber Rose be able to get somebody probably for the rest of her life? Yes. But her options are diminishing. The top tier guys, say what you will about these rappers, they at least are well off in some cases. The guys that she desires obviously are showing less and less interest. And the more of a public figure she becomes, probably I would say the less interested they become. You know, so I think Amber really needs to do some self-examination, get some therapy, and really ask herself, is this the proper answer to the question? And are the people that are in your life, do they really care about you enough to even let you get to the real answer that you need? That's what I would say. It said, during the hour-long episode titled Mother Sloot, a play on the word slut, Rose also takes listeners through her background, starting with growing up poor in Philadelphia to how she became the face of slut empowerment. She said, I got my power back. Is this the power that you seek? But I will tell you one thing. The women that are on this path right now, this path of empowerment through being sexually liberated, having multiple partners, many partners. We're getting an example of what happens as you age in this process. We're getting an example of, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it something that will fulfill you in the long run? And I think all our Instagram ladies, all our OnlyFans ladies, all our TikTok ladies, you need to look at the examples that are in front of you right now. Because in 20 years, that could be you. Are you going to be saying that you don't want a relationship? You don't want any type of companionship? That people are disgusting out here? You know, it's a lot of out here projection. It's not really talking about your situation. Because if I remember correctly, Kanye, Ye said after he left her that he had to take 30 showers, you know? I think that was a play on the song 30 Hours, but you know what I mean. You don't want to share your life with anyone or your house. You don't want to have exes. It's so gross. I don't want it. So yeah, that's where we're at. But like I said, it's a warning to all you ladies that are doing the same thing right now. You know, I'm going to do a story on Corinne Steffens as well. Or Elizabeth Ovison. And, you know, these are the women that went through this in the early 2000s, so you wouldn't have to. But you're still doing the same thing. They're giving you an example of where that road leads. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.